Thumbcoast TV and WGRT bring you St. Clair County at the Mackinac Policy Conference. Sponsored by the Community Foundation of St. Clair County, Michigan Mutual, and Eastern Michigan Bank.
Welcome back to live coverage from the Mackinac Policy Conference. I'm Josh Chapman, here with Dan Casey, CEO and President of the EDA. And so, Dan, the Mackinac Policy Conference, what is the point of all this? You see elected officials, you see former governors and senators. What is the point?
So if you're in economic development like I am, you never know where a project's going to come or who's going to bring it to you, or what other issues might be happening in Lansing that we could play a role in. And so up here I get the opportunity to connect with people that I've met throughout my career, who are typically leaders of their organizations and who have are influencers in the industries that they represent. And so this is a great opportunity for me to catch up with them, tell them about the great things happening in St. Clair County, and if I need help from somebody, it renews that relationship.
So advocating and deepening relationships, and it's probably a good year to do that. I'm picking up a sense that there's some important elections based on some of the folks that I've seen, and I shared a ferry ride over with. Does that have any impact on who's going to be here or what can get done?
Well, it has a broad impact on economic development in general, because everybody has their idea about how to do it better.
Yeah.
And so a lot of what's going to happen this year at the conference, which is different from next year, but a lot of what's going to happen this year at the conference is people who are in either party, Republican or Democrat, they're going to get together with some of their peers and they're going to start hammering out a platform that will then, and a strategy to unroll that to the public, and then they're going to then enact that strategy probably starting after the end of the year and into the governor's election in particular, but it's also the House and the Senate. And so there's a lot of those conversations that are happening right now, and I've already had 2 or 3 meetings up here in the first afternoon, and it was the topic of conversation for everybody.
Yeah. So what is on the horizon? Obviously, you dabble in all kinds of projects and growth economically in our Blue Water region. What's next on the horizon for the EDA, and what do you hope to accomplish coming from the concert?
Well, I think one of the things, and it's really bigger than us, but one of the things is what is going to be the look of economic development next year, the year after, in the new administration. This year, for example, they haven't approved the annual budget yet for the state, but they cut back significantly the amount of incentives that are available for projects.
Yeah.
I mean, 60% cut. That's huge. That puts Michigan at a competitive disadvantage compared to all of the other states. And a lot of times that's a negotiating ploy to try to get what they really want. And so road funding is something we've heard a lot about this year. And I don't care what party you're from, everybody's going to agree that you probably need road funding. Some agree that, or think we need more. And so that's the kind of issue that could be resolved by using, say, incentives for projects as leverage, right? And so that's the kind of thing that's on the horizon for us. I'm part of the Detroit Regional Partnership, which is an 8-county initiative in Metro Detroit, and we're putting together talking points, messaging we call it, to take to Lansing. We'll be going to Lansing in July to start giving our message for Michigan and what we think economic development should look like in the future. And we don't like this election cycle where it comes and goes.
Yeah.
What we really want is a steady, reliable program so investors out there, whether they're Fortune 500 companies or entrepreneurs, they know what the playing field is. But what happens every 4 years is it flip-flops depending on who's going to be in office. And so we're trying to avoid that, to have a different way of moving forward.
Well, good luck. We all know that consistency, economic development likes consistency. So good luck on your time on the island.
Thank you.
To hear more from this conversation, visit thumbcoast.tv.